hello, hello. Okay, so I'm excited about this one because, as they say in Mary Kay, attract number grows. And owning a business is a cool thing. But business owners, successful business owners, know their numbers, right? So if you think of a successful business, at the end of each day, they know what they've done. At the end of each week, they know what they've done. And totally at the end of every month and at the end of every year, they know what they've done. Because that's how they can set goals and make projections and all that kind of stuff. So this video is really cool. And I was a slow starter on weekly accomplishment sheets and tracking and all that. But I tell you what, it is so much more fun to track. And even if your numbers aren't where you want them to be, even by tracking, it gives you a baseline. You know what I mean? And it's real, and it shows you exactly what your numbers are and what you need to change. The other piece of this that's critical, especially as a new consultant, is this is a great way for you and I to communicate. Because if I don't know your numbers, I can't help you. So for example, let me just kind of show you what we're talking about first, and then we'll go from here. So these are called weekly accomplishment sheets. Woo, woo. And you print one off, one for every week. And you can either print them off or it's on your InTouch and you can do it online. So either way, you would want to submit these to me. And if you do it online, it says submit to your sales director. Or you could take a picture of this every week and text it to me, whatever you would want to do. But this literally shows us what you did this week and what's going on for next week. And that way it always helps us be planning and thinking ahead and strategizing and knowing what we need to shift and all that kind of stuff. So how these work is this one. You print them off, or like I said, do them online, but it's the date, the name of the person. I haven't done this yet, but if we move here, what it's looking at is how you sold something to that person. So I saw more people, but not all of them didn't buy anything. So the people who didn't buy anything, I didn't put them on my sheet. But over here, it asks about the sales. So it's asking how you sold it, in what capacity. So for example, it says, was it at a skincare class, a facial, or a color appointment? So you can see I saw several people in that way, and then it has me total their sales. So this week I had $364 in sales on the face-to-face, just being in front of people. It also asks you about on the go. On the go is just like maybe you popped in and you let them do satin hands really quick. Like they actually got to do a product, but it wasn't a full-blown party. You know what I mean? Then it asks about online sales or website orders. And so I had $400 in sales online this week. Any shows, collections, or previews. So I didn't have any of those this week. But then it's also like because of your preferred customer program, like when people receive the lookbook in the mail and their reorders. So I had a whole bunch of reorders this week. And I also did a flash sale with the facial peel this week. And so I did a flash sale for $39 for the facial peel this week. So a whole bunch of people also got the facial peel. So what it has you do is in those columns, it has you put your sales in, but not tax. So I put my sales in and I totaled it. So my sales this week were $1,229.50. Well, then off to this side, this has any money taken out. Or so sales tax. So I already paid sales tax when I ordered the products. So it's having me put down my sales tax for the products here. If I had any Section 2 giveaways that I gave out to people, that's there, which I didn't. But I did give people discounts. Like, for example, with that flash sale, I didn't charge them full price. So these are all the discounts that I gave out. Oh, and I need to total it. I haven't totaled that yet. So anyway, so this is really cool. Now, also what it has you do is it has you figure out what your estimated weekly gross profit is. So in Mary Kay, a lot of times they recommend doing a 60-40 split. So instead of you keeping 50%, keeping 40% And that way, that 10% you could put towards going to like events like seminar, career conference, fall advance, those kind of things. It could also be little things that you might need for your business. So what it's having you do on here is take your total sales minus all the giveaways and take it times 40%. So then it gives you your estimated weekly gross profit. So that's pretty cool. And then it also has this box where it's your weekly activity recap. And so it basically summarizes what you did that week. So it looks at the number of how many team building appointments did you do, the number of new team members that you have, the number of selling appointments that you have on your books for next week, number of skincare sets sold, what your total in all those sales categories were. So that's kind of cool because it just summarizes your week. But then what I really, really like about this is when you flip it over, it's kind of a communication plan for you and me. So with this, first of all, what it lets you do is select, I would like more information about any of these following areas. So I want to know more about the online personal websites, or I want to know more about coaching my parties. So if there's something that you want to know more about with your business, it just lets you pick it. It also has a section for you to set goals. It says next week's goals. So like the number of customer calls you want to do next week, the number of team building appointments you want to get set up for next week. So that's pretty cool. And then it also has, your totaled out. It's pretty neat because it has you put in what your profit was and how many hours you worked for your business that week, and then what your total gross profits were per hour. So when you look at mine for this week, all my reorders were reorders. The online was just online. So at that point, that was just putting it on my product box or dropping it off at their house. So let's say an hour for that. And then for my faces in person,